West Nile Television. And of course, without wasting time, Benson, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Owen Zaga. Good afternoon, the viewers. The biggest story that is in my mind is, of course, match day 5 of UEFA Champions League. It has reached at the 10th stage whereby some teams, of course, have sealed the qualification, but others, of course, will still need the results in match day 5. And the last round, that's match day 6. The biggest talking point, I think, today is all about UEFA Champions League, whether this time Manchester United can be able to sneak it, because you talk about Galatasaray, Manchester United themselves, and Copenhagen. They're all tied at 4 points, and their games are tonight.
All that game will be coming right today, and of course a lot of a game. All eyes will be on that is the Manchester United game, that is with Copenhagen, of course with Galatasaray. As United will be traveling away to see that they see the home of Galatasaray. Of course, a 22-man squad is what, of course, the man Erik ten Hag did unveil to, that is the team, or to the media, and that is what we shall be coming to discuss later on, and what exactly is going to be your say on that. But before we get to that, let's look at the Start Time Uganda Premier League games that are, of course, the match day 9 that will be returning right there, and of course a couple of them are on a card, as if you can see. One of the biggest probably is that, and then of course this weekend you will also see that there are going to be games that are returning in the regional league. Yeah, that's also one big one that is going to be coming. Then you also do have the Start Times Uganda, I mean the Bet Power Big League, that will also be returning right there. But before that, tomorrow is the finals of the Copa Obimu, which is, of course, in English you can say the King's Cup, which is in Nebi. It's going to be at Luo Grounds. And it's going to be between Okoro and Padier that will be interfacing themselves in what is called the King's Cup finals that will be coming right there, or the Copa Obimu. That is one thing. It's organized by the Keralur, and it is called the Copa Obimu. I remember the last time we went covered this game was at Barokoro Stadium, and probably West Nile Television would be one of the mighty televisions that will touch down tomorrow at, that is, Luo Grounds, to see that these games go on successfully. So it's one big thing we shall be seeing right there. But of course it's tomorrow at 3 p.m. That's when the kickoff time, according to the fixture. 3 p.m. is the kickoff time of the game, and that means the team is all set and ready for this moment. So we're expecting a lot of encounter. We're expecting a tight game right there. Why are other kingdoms probably, or chiefdoms, not impressing such? Because this is a yearly or an annual event that happens in, that is, the Aluru Kingdom.
You know, some kingdoms and some kings, they don't desire sports so much, and the credits must go to the kingdom of Aluru for desiring sports so much. And you talk about Ubum Cup. I think this tournament started a long time ago, and some games were hosted in Zombo district, particularly at Bakoro Stadium, the on ground for Paida Black Angels, and they have taken that one as an initiative to see that they actually take the games at all the angles we have in a greater Nebi region. And some games initially we are played at Barokoro. As I said, this time they also feel that it has it's also be taken to some parts of that in Nebi district, as in Nebi municipality. This time, though the initial games, the group stages games, the semi-quarter games we are taking place in Zombo, this time it's going to be taken place in Nebi municipality. Ubum Cup, I think that is a very good tournament, a very interesting tournament. Like you said, it's all about whether a kingdom as a king desires sports, and that one I cannot talk much about it. We have in so many kingdoms, so many kings we have in the region of West Nile, but it has been desired so much in the kingdom of Aluru.
Yes, it's one of the biggest thing, which of course has different members and of course clubs. But of course, out of this, you've seen very many. Most of the time, these games are played towards, of course, certain cause, and one of them has been so much of what is called, what do they call it? They call it, of course, early pregnancy and. Something of that kind. Probably they are trying to advocate and see that they eradicate that is early pregnancy or teenage pregnancy, which is one big thing. That means the cause is always very genuine for this. I still want Benson us to talk about this because of one thing. You see, in this world, people believe so much in the spiritual, which is of course the God and the churches. People believe so much in the leaders or the teachers which are there. What about these leaders who are also like now the kingdoms and the rest? If you go to the Buganda kingdom, you will see that everything the Kabaka says is what very many people believe in. Everything, what exactly the king of Alur says is another thing. West Nile, it is, I think, in West Nile, it is only the Alur kingdom that is so much visible and doing everything possible, making sure that they really participate. Advice to maybe the rest of the kingdoms.
You know, every kingdom and every king, they have got different perspectives. And let me narrow this one to the fraternity of sports. And because here we are discussing sports, you talk about Alure's kingdom, and this is not the first time we are seeing them organizing this Boom Cup. And they have always been organizing this one before, and that's not the only kingdom we have in the whole of the region of West Nile. Lugbara kingdom is also there. You talk about Madi kingdom. The other kingdoms, Kakwa kingdom is also there. Why is it that when it comes to such kind of events, we always see it floating on top of the water from that side of Alur? That means the rest of the kingdoms, Lugbara kingdom, Madi kingdom, you talk about Kakwa kingdom, the ball is now into their hands to see that. You know, sometimes coping mechanism is also a very good thing. You need to copy what the rest are doing such that you also get yourself into it. It's a very interesting thing, and of late you see that so many people, of course, they have adored sports, and you see this time the kingdom of Alur, they have taken sports as a priority, and it's working. The only advice I can give to the rest of the kingdoms and also to their leaders to see that they also impress what is currently taking place in Alur kingdom. That is the only word I can give as advice to them.
Yes, it's a very big one, but of course, looking at sports, that unites very many things. There are going to be a lot of activities, according to the program lineup here, a lot of activities that will be taking place that side because of one or two things that is coming. We shall be seeing that there's going to be the bicycle race that will be coming through, and then we shall also see that there's going to be that football. Remember, all these games have been going through, and all this that went, I remember the last time that was at Barrow Koro Stadium, we even did see the state minister for Northern Uganda participating. She was also one of the riders who, of course, came through. There was the bike that, of course, people came and rode, and it was really interesting. And the king himself came through. So it is one of the biggest things that is there. As sports unites very many things, as they keep changing everything. This time around, even the ladies category has been involved. How good is that for a kingdom like this?
Yeah, it appears if I'm repeating myself. It's all about
the girls that has been invited, because the other time it was the netball. This time even the football has been added into the girls.
And it's true. This time, ever since I started following this Boom Cup tournament, I remember we also ran the story in one of our Nilecast news. So this time the football for ladies, of course, has been taken as a priority ahead of the football for that of boys. And you will see that you come tomorrow, you will see the vibe on the side of the ladies football, and it's all about the level of organization you put and the love you saw for the game of sports. And this time I can see so many people, so many organizations. Of course, this time they are taking sports as a pillar to the rest of the other activities. Now they have seen that so many people, not only in Uganda, not only in Alur Kingdom, they have taken sports as a pillar to see that they construct the rest of the other activities behind it. But this time, Alur Kingdom, together with their leaders, I think they are playing integral roles to see that they uplift the standard of ladies football. And you look at the standard of football, ladies football we have in the region of West Nile. You talk about Greater Nebi region, Greater Madi region. I think you will see that most of the talents, they are coming from these two regions. And this time they know that they have already identified the talents. The only thing for them to do is to dig deeper, and also to see that they nurture these ladies. I think that might be the purpose behind it.
It's a very big one, and of course credit should be given to you. That is the king himself. Of course, I want to say it's for me. I'm very great that of course what he wants in his regime is one of the biggest thing that you could be talking about. Even the prince of that is Alur Kingdom, and then of course the Prime Minister of Aluru Kingdom, doing very, very actively. What about the ministers that have come through into the kingdom to represent different, of course, angles in there? I think it's one big thing. But of course, I want to say West Nile Television will always be giving you updates overall, because we're here to light up the region in all the whole, of course, region. So lighting up the region is one of the key, of course, emphasis and factors that we will always be putting ahead. And we always want to say that getting down to community or these community activities that keep coming every time, trust me, I will always be very, very glad to see that we get into that. So coming there to watch the game, to cover the game, is one of the biggest thing that could maybe be of an advantage to West Nile Television. So people of, that is the Aluru sub-region, right there, I want to say it is one thing. I would really want to see that numbers turn up there, because it's going to be a game of what exactly to decide. The only thing is that can we put the security very well? That is one, because I always know such games have very, very many people who come in. And this time around the format had to change, where you did see these games were played on home and away basis. So home and away basis meant very, very big, and it was one of the biggest thing that this season I think the organizers have gotten to see that things work out for them. So I believe every other team is satisfied, because I've loved the restriction that they have brought in there. One, most of these games were played by these people who even are in elite leagues in the Ugandan football. But this time around, the restrictions that came there is that you shouldn't be licensed. You shouldn't be a FIFA licensed player to make sure that you participate, maybe in the top FIFA Big League and the Uganda Premier League in there, so that you be able to participate. I mean, for you to be able to participate, you shouldn't be in that first and second tier. I think that was the thing of the league. So it shows me something that this is really something that is to promote the talent that is there. So if you're to promote talent, why do you want the ready talent that is there? Go down deeper, get there. And that's how exactly Padir and Okoro have reached to that level. And we shall be expecting to see this final at 3 p.m. tomorrow and see what exactly will be coming, because it's the final that will be on 30th. So talent development is also another thing that can be added into what exactly their theme could be, because if you are changing it this way, then it's a very good thing to talk about in there. When shall we start talent development in Arua? When shall we Lubara start? We have the Chief Lubara Chiefdom, which is here, but which activities are they bringing out to youth? I see, what I can say is that the youth development is so much in the Kaira Lure, and you know, they're bringing in something that through sports we can change very many things. It's all about changing the mindset of a youth, of a teenager. How do we do this? So I think for me, it's a plus.
You see, Owen, the point we are speaking right now is now an assignment to the rest of the kingdoms, to the rest of the sub-regions we have in West Nile region, to the rest of the leaders we have in from the other DFAs. And this tournament is for the whole of greater Nebi sub-region. And we are seeing so many teams from the different parts of the DFAs. Zombo is there, Pakwat is also there, Nebi Central is also, not Nebi Central, rather Nebi Central is a football club, sorry for that. Nebi Municipality is also there. But when it reaches the final, you always see two teams. That means on the side of the ladies, you also be expecting two teams. One will at the end go with the gong. From also the boys football, you see one going with the gong. And the most interesting thing is also it's a tournament for the lower leagues. You talk about 5th Division League, non-registered clubs, and also for the clubs that are playing in 5th Division League, clubs that are already playing in Regional League, for the FIFA Big League, so the Star Times Uganda Premier League. Right now they don't have any club. The tournament is not for them. Like you have said, maybe the mission behind this tournament is to promote talent and also to nurture talent, which of course I am seeing, of course, will yield the fact at the end.
Yes, that's it. But of course, all in all, I just wanted to give you an update of what is happening, because these other games have been going on, and we kept giving you highlights of how exactly they've been going right there. Now let's get to the Star Times Uganda Premier League. That is also ongoing. But before that, let's start with the summary of the games that were played in round 8 or match day 8 of the Star Times Uganda Premier League. Remember, Bull with a red card had a game and beat Chitara by, of course, 2 goals to 1. That was on 26th of course, November. Then you did see NEC Football Club playing against, of course, Team Wakiso, a game that ended at 1-1 in favor of none of the team. They went for a stall. Then Mbara City, that had the red card, also had a draw with that is Team Villa, as Arua Hill Sports Club got their win against, of course, the team of UPDF, 2 goals to nil. That was their first win of the season. Busoga United playing against KCCA was 2-1 after beating KCCA at that is their home at Shabazinga. Then Express lost to Maroons by 1-0, and Vipers did beat URA in match day 8 by 2-0. And Gaddafi, of course, had it against that is Bright Stars, which was in a hold over 2-2 draw right there. Now let's get to the games that are coming so on card in match day, of course, 9 in right there. Just like on our script today, tomorrow we shall be seeing games coming, and Bright Star will be welcoming Arua Hill Sports Club in this game. What are we expecting? Because it's a very big one. There's possibility that tomorrow maybe the whistle time could be in Luo ground. So well, let's start from here. Maybe.
Yeah, you talk about Soltino Bright Stars. Normally, when I think about them, the only player I always talk about is Nelson Sekatuka, who seems to be their god, and each and every time you see them coming up with a draw as a win, this guy combined with the rest of the other players, you always see him being the pivot in front of the goal. And at the same time, this is going to be the right time for us to judge, as for me to judge Arua Hill Sports Club. Recently, they had a win over UPDF. UPDF, before they lost the game into the hands of Arua Hill Sports Club, they have also been performing very well. I remember 2 to 3 games they went without losing, and I think picking 2 wins and a draw. So many thought that they were also going to give that disappointment moment once again to the team of Congolos, but Congolo again this time proved very hard to them, and winning them. That was the highlights of what went in the other game between Congolo and UPDF. Meanwhile, Soltino Bright Stars, the recent game they played was a 2-2 tie. This is going to be the right time for people to judge Arua Hill Sports Club whether they have returned back to the glorious moment, or still they won the game against the team of UPDF by luck. It will be tomorrow, but still I think they can be able to do something in case they will be very, very technical and tactical enough against the team of Soltino Bright Stars. But also traveling away from home, and also the team of Soltino Bright Stars already having that strong mentality. This is a team that's sitting down in the relegation zone. They will want to put everything against the team of Arua Hill Sports Club and pick something against them. But the best team, of course, will win it. And my advice to the team of Arua Hill Sports Club right now is, of course, they will have to be very, very technical and watch Nelson Sekatuka, because this is a guy, as I said, who is always behind everything for the team of Soltino Bright Stars.
Yes, you're very scared of this game. But of course, Bright Stars is also not doing all that well, though they are advantage ahead of Arua Hill Sports Club. They have 7 points, 3 points behind Arua Hill Sports Club, that is in relegation. That means Bright Stars lie 13th on the log, and that gives you an impression of what exactly the team is doing right there. That means it's not a big threat to them. They have only won 1 of the game that they have played out of the 8. 4 of the games have been draws to them, and that means that they are not a threat problem to Arua Hill Sports Club, you could be saying in there. But of course, 3 have been losses in there. The only advantage that they have been getting at least draws in the previous games that they have been playing right there. So what exactly would you be expecting from such a game? You would be expecting a tight fixture. Of course, the team of Arua Hill would want to make sure that they, because winning that will make them to go to 7th position, will take them to 7 points. And they have -6 goals, just like KCCA Football Club. That means Arua Hill Sports Club will have to do a lot, because if you look at this, both of them have, they have, Arua Hill has only 1 draw in the previous 5 and lost thrice, won once. As for that is Bright Stars, 2 losses, 2 draws and 1 win in the previous 5 games. So it shows you how exactly the team are trying to see that they strategize and put things right, worthy in there. So those are some of the big things that you could be expecting, and we will be waiting to see how this comes through right there. So it is one of the biggest factor we expecting, but Arua Hill can still pick a point from that is Soltino Bright Star, but Bright Star at home is also always a headache. The worst of that game would be a draw, but all in all, going in this game rejuvenated after getting a win is one key factor for Arua Hill Sports Club, because Bright Star lost their last game in that is the last game that they played. So it gives them courage to see that this is the time we need to push and make sure that things work out. So I think that is one big thing. Elsewhere, there's also going to be Sports Club Villa taking on Busoga United, a game that will also be on 30th, which is tomorrow. And here you want to see Villa that played a draw. Busoga won their game, I think. Yes, they won their game in the previous game, just like I did give you. That means they are coming back or bouncing back a little bit stronger in this game. Let's look at the table standing first and see what exactly they could be doing to make sure that this works out. Now, if you look at how the table is standing, Busoga and Villa are only separated by 1 point gap, which is, Busoga has 10 and Villa has 9. So both is going to be time for them to prove who is who, because number 9 and 10 respectively, Busoga and Villa, is what we are talking about.
Yeah, it's true. You look at these two sides, Sports Club Villa, they have also not lost so many games. Most of the games they have played, they have been in draws. You look at the team of Busoga, they have been one of the unpredictable sides this season. So many people thought that they were going to be one of the teams fighting a relegation, because the last 2 seasons they have always been at the mouth of suffer, or at the mouth of always fighting for relegation. But this time they have put on the table surprising results. You look at the game they played with the team of KCA. How many people thought that the team, of course, was going to beat the team of KCA? I think only 10% of the population of the soccer fans thought that one. That means it's not going to be an easy clash between the two sides. Based on the statistics, the table standing, the positions for these two teams, that one clearly shows that the team that, of course, will win the table, will win it, of course, will have to surpass the other one, or else they will extend the points gap. So it's going to be a hard one. But you look at these two sides in terms of everything, still I will say that the fixture is favoring the team of Sports Club Villa. And also one disadvantage on the side of Sports Club Villa is also the game which is coming on Friday against Express Derby, and they also want to win the game. That means they are having 2 things to fight for: win this game and also the derby which is coming on Friday. The way I'm seeing, this is going to be the time for me to say whether they won against KCA by mistake, but still I will say the win they picked against the KCA was a luck. Still, they will drop the points into the hands of the Joggers.
Okay, let's wait and see whether Sports Club Villa, that is going to be one of the biggest things, because it's an impression that, of course, the team needs to put it wide and clear to the world that this is the time that we need to put things work out for such an interesting team. But of course, Villa are strategically placed, and also Busoga is strategically placed. So this time around, the Ling Long, can they work out and make sure that this team makes it there? That's one big factor that we shall be waiting to see after the game tomorrow, because 3 wins for that is team Busoga, 4 losses and 1 draw is what makes them to get 10 points. As of course, 7 after playing 7 games, they have won twice and drawn thrice and lost twice. That is a good result you could see of Sports Club Villa is. And of course, they have positivity. They have so far scored 10 goals and conceded 7. That shows you that they are negative 3 goals. But for that is the team of Busoga, they are not a scoring team. Instead, they are a team that is conceding. They have negative 7 goals after scoring only 6, and they have scored 13 against this very team. So it's so challenging that you can't really see what exactly is happening with the team. But all in all, I want to say Busoga needs to really give a lot to make sure that they get there, because Villa will be at home, and that is one big advantage for Sports Club Villa. So home advantage, the 12-man is what I'm talking about. I'm not meaning home advantage. Yes, home advantage, you being home is one, and then of course that. Okay. Those are the 2 games tomorrow, and we shall be seeing what exactly comes through. But before we get to that, there's also going to be a game on first, which is going to be between URA and Express. That's going to be a Friday. Then you have Chiso Giants that will be taking on Bull Football Club, as of course Kampala City Council, KCCA, will be taking on Gaddafi at home, and Airtel Chitara Football Club will be taking on NEC Football Club. Maroons will be welcoming Mbarara City as UPDF, or that is third, takes on Vipers Sports Club right there. So that's how exactly the teams are preparing in there. But of course, a tip on of course these games, I think we shall be discussing on them on Friday, because we shall be right here to give you more of the encounters that will be coming throughout the games. Okay, let's move away from there and look at what exactly is happening right now. Because there is one big thing where, of course, there has been appointment made for, that is the Gazelles. When we talk about the Gazelles, I believe you should be knowing what exactly we're talking about. Now, the Lojo has been appointed as the new head coach for the Gazelles, and that's one big story that is all over trending right now in a very, very big way. Benson, let's start from there.
Yeah, exactly. He has already been appointed, and the expectations of the fans of Darcy Basketball is all about who is he and what are some of his achievements. That's what people are expecting. And this is a person, this is a coach that is having experience. Before we talk about his achievements, who he is, remember our coach, of course, he retired. Our former coach, Darcy Roberto Antuna, currently is the head coach of the female team of Darcy Senegal. This is a coach that has done a lot for he's someone from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and he started managing the country way back in 2017 up to 2023. So he has done a lot for the country, that's Bosnia and Herzegovina, guiding the team to the fifth position in European Championship. That was in 2021, and also in 2022 FIBA World Cup, and the team also had he also helped the team to finish in the 12th position. And also recently, before his appointment as the head coach for the Gazelles, he has also been working in the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga doesn't only work upon football in Germany, it also cuts across. He also won a league with the team he has been managing in Germany. That means the brief profile we are speaking about the guy, he's a very good coach, and we're waiting to see what, of course, he's going to put for the Gazelles. In Europe, we have already mentioned the achievements he had with the national team, and it's also not the first time we are seeing him managing a country. He has done this one with his native country, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and also the country, the Gazelles. He's coming to manage how they have been performing. We all know what we want to see is, of course, how the guy is going to start the journey with the Gazelles, and how, of course, the results are going to come on the side of the Gazelles.
All right, it's a very big one, of course, right there. Were you aware of that the She Cranes withdrew off from the African Championship netball?
You know, She Cranes currently, there are a lot of wrangles in that department, both administrative and also financial. That might be the reason as to why. Not even, I'm not thinking, and that is the reason they clearly said that that is the reason as to why, of course, they have withdrawn. And also, ironically, the men's team, of course, is not there. I think for them, they don't have any problem. The challenge, of course, and the wrangles have been in the department of the netball team of the She Cranes. But ironically, you see the Rocks, the men's team, also withdrawing. It's also challenging. I think it's going to reduce the vibe in the tournament. It started yesterday, and Uganda, being one of the highest ranked countries we have in the continent of Africa, not being inclusive in the tournament, I think will also reduce in the vibe of the tournament. But it happens. The administrative issues, financial challenges, of course, they will have to resettle till our She Cranes, of course, will return for either any tournament or any action.
Now, decisiveness is what we're talking about, a day full of being decisions to be taken. And of course, clinicality is one thing that will be so dominant to make sure that a team progresses to the next level. And not only in, that is, the sports, not only in one sports, but of course in different sports that will be determining what exactly you as a country, you as a club will be progressing to the next level. Now, that's one big thing. But of course, takes us away from, that is, the crickets, I mean from the Gazelle team, but back to that is now the T20 that is also ongoing. A tough game and a tough encounter that will be taking place right today, as of course the cricket cranes will have to face Kenya in, that is the new, of course, in this encounter that is coming in right there. Of course, more that you've been seeing, the cricket, the T20 is one where you have a lot that you need to follow. For those who follow this cricket so closely, and very many believe it is an Indian game, yes, but of course Uganda is participating in it. A lot of things that keep coming in there. Kenya is our next opponent in this?
Yeah, Kenya is our next opponent, and the game is kickstarting at 3:30 East African time. And the good thing in this game is the history. Everything is favoring the country of Uganda because they have ever played before in the previous tournaments and also in the regional tournaments. It has been our cricket cranes dominating it, but this one comes in a different tournament called the Cricket World Cup qualifiers that will be taking place next year in 2024. And you look at how Uganda, of course, have been performing. 3 games so far played, only picking 1 defeat. The defeat the actual came against Namibia, the highest ranked country we have in the continent, and against Zimbabwe they won their game. Tanzania, their neighbors, they won it, and this is going to be, like you said, a decisive moment for our cricket cranes. In case they beat Dasi Kenya, that means we would have sealed our slot to next year's Cricket World Cup. I think it will be a moment for us to smile, more especially the fans of cricket we have in the country. Uganda up against Kenya is, of course, the game we will be watching come this evening. Uganda, in case they win it, that means the journey is already through for the country, that's Uganda, in the Department of Cricket.
And now a very big one, and we shall be waiting to see what exactly that would be meaning for us as Ugandans. I think it's so big that we shall be expecting. We take a break.